Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. It is non-gym day today. Holy hell, I am sore AF today. I'm also still on a diet, so if I'm a little more bitchy than usual, it's because somebody talked me into doing a CrossFit competition on not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So I gotta bust my ass. There we go. This time I remembered to mute myself. Hope everybody is doing well today. We have shit that dropped last night. Shit always happens when I'm at work. Shit always happens when I'm at work. And I saw some people sent me some screenshots of some things. I have to take this off. And Jeffrey, nobody responded to it yet. There's been no response to it. So the lawsuit out of the Western District of Washington, I think, where a lady sued the Blue Angels. That's a legit lawsuit. Somebody sued the Blue Angels for acoustic torture. Nobody's responded to it yet. However, staying on topic because we got a lot to talk about today. One, I'm working on scheduling and scripting and stuff for the new channel. If one of my mods could drop a link down, I have a new channel where I'm going to be actually using my college degree. YouTube's algorithm doesn't like when you talk about this and this and this and this and this all in one channel. So I'm devoting a second channel to that. Maybe someday I'll get it monetized. I don't know. It is called Evidence Through Motion. It is me using my college degree and my corrective exercise certification to talk about things like fall prevention and how the media doesn't talk about studies. They just kind of gloss over stuff, but also taking the research and making it practical for everyday people. So I am using my college degree because, I did go to college, just not for the law. But I'm kind of, I love all the people who on the internet who think they just because I claim not to be an expert, it sets it out for people to tell me things that I already know. Just because I don't mention it doesn't mean I don't know it. And that is where I actually went to college for that. So in some ways, even though OT and corrective exercise is a large topic, that's my college degree. That's my passion. That's my fire. And hopefully that comes through on the channel. However, this freaking, I'm still redacting this because they have Jeremy's social security number in here, which is weird. They have the first part, and in most places the first part is X'd out and you get the last four, because the last four is not really a secret. A lot of people the military isn't your military number nowadays, is your last four of your social. So, but the fact that they have the first 5 in here, I don't want to be that person that allows somebody to connect the dots. So I'm going through and redacting everything that I can. If my computer will let me, all of a sudden it will let me redact. What the hell? What in the actual flying? It's not letting me redact this page. There we go. Holy, I had to but I'm having to do it like over and over and over and over again. So like, it's just one of those situations where just when you think this case can't get any weirder, here we are. But I did see some things. So I have the title of this video is Bolitho's out. There's a caveat to that. So you think Bolitho's out and you're like, a lot of Jeremy Hale supporters are like, I didn't like him anyway. I didn't like this. I didn't like, regardless. They're like, well, he's out because he didn't do sanctions, or he's out, any number of freaking things that people can come up with. Here's what I found interesting. There is only an order for him to be replaced in Federal 2. Federal 1, there is no such order or note from the district judge. There is no such order like that. So Federal 1, and it could be that it stayed, so they don't put that stuff in there until it's taken off of this day. I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong about that. However, we're going to have to skip over some of the stuff on this because it's not letting me, for some reason, it's being stupid with letting me redact some stuff. And I'm like, I don't always like everybody and everything everybody does, but I really just don't want to be that dick that just doxes people for no fucking reason at all, because I hate to be that person, because I don't want that done to me. Although on the second channel I did out myself as my first name. A lot of people knew it anyway, but that's not the point. I don't want to be that person. So I'm redacting, and a lot of people saw all this stuff back when he first did this. However, I'm just not that bitch. So we're just not going to be that bitch. However, we do have some other things, because when we were talking yesterday, Spawn, my pretty, and I, about how Luthmann never goes by Junior. He never, ever goes by Junior. So when someone never signs anything as Junior, he didn't sign that last motion. He hasn't signed any motions that he's ever written as Junior. So if he doesn't go by Junior, how is anybody else supposed to know that he's a junior? And when I say this, I have this. This was a simple Google search, and I'm not going to show you any more information that I found because it's not worth it right now. But before we even get into the document itself, this is his freaking LinkedIn. I took a screenshot. So you have a Richard Luthmann Sr., a pharmacy manager at Coastal RX. Like, that's the senior. Okay, I don't deny that a senior exists and he's truly a junior. I get it. However, he goes by Richard Luthmann. He does not go by Richard Luthmann Jr. So if he doesn't even go by a fucking junior, how is anybody else that doesn't know him supposed to know that he's a damn junior? Sweet baby dumpster Jesus. Like, what? Squid's not your first name? Mind blown. I know. And I did do something that I normally don't do today. I did start a super chat goal. Super chats of $5 or more. I will do a members only ask me anything Q&A on Friday afternoon. I usually don't do those because I think they're dumb in general, but I just want to experiment today. But I hope everybody is doing well. So if he doesn't go by senior or junior, he doesn't go by junior. How is anybody else supposed to address him as junior? I don't know. Like, it's just one of those situations where you just look at it and you're like, nice technicality, but like, you know. And I have my theories about why Bolitho got removed from this case. And it has nothing to do with Federal 1 and the sanctions and the whole not showing up for a court hearing. Because of the fact that this is the current docket for Federal 2 or Federal 1. See this down here? This was the last motion filed or order filed, and that was July 15th, staying the case. So there is nothing in there that says that he has been, I will show you Federal 2, and you can see what what is posted. I know people have screenshotted it and put it on different social media platforms. That's completely kind of irrelevant to the situation. However, to me it is kind of relevant in the sense that one can a non-lawyer e-file in Pacer. He didn't e-file. This was sent to the court, and then the court files it in Pacer. So this is the current, let's see, terminated parties. There we go. And I had to figure out what I did last time because I saw it and then it went away, and then I saw it and it went away. So just if you go in and you look, even on Federal 2, it's not exactly like fraud report. There we go. Motions no longer referred to Magistrate Judge Zachary Bolitho. So chambers of Robert Hinkle. Robert Hinkle is an interesting dude, to say the least. He's an interesting dude. He's a very by the book, and we're going to look up a case right now. I'm going to take this away because I was informed that I was informed by a certain somebody who knows a lot more than I do about the fact that so Judge Hinkle has Judge Hinkle a certain Lipsy character. Judge Hinkle had a judgment or illegal run-in with a certain Lips's husband or estranged husband or whatever the case may be. And I was just informed this a little while ago, so I was not I didn't get the chance to look it up. Like I said, there's been some shit, like today has been a crazy day. Every day is a crazy day, but I've been up since 6 o'clock and I have not sat down to just like watch TV or anything. So there's been a, I have to look it up, but we're going to go through, yeah, with Doritos. Yes. So we're going to look that up and then we will get into that. Okay. There we go. We will get into the actual motion because it's 18 pages of bullshit and then 18 pages of complaining and then 20 some odd pages of just ridiculousness. And just when you think, life can't get any stupider, and I say stupider knowing stupider is not a word, I'm using it as a point. But I also have a breakdown of who possibly wrote this, because once again, this was supposedly signed by Senior. Just remember, it's supposedly signed by Senior, but it has the same writing styles as the person who wrote 116 and 115. 115.6, which 115.6 was our control document actually written by Luthmann. So we have quite a bit to get to. All right. So just remember, this is document 120 is filed yesterday because everything fucking happens when I have to go to work. We have the paid internet agitator, all the key phrases for crazy people that, objections under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 72. I'm trying to grasp my pearls when I do this. Yeah, and there's something in this document that was filed with the court that is a personal, what I believe is a personal attack on Bolitho. And I believe that is why Bolitho was removed. If he is removed eventually from Federal 1, then I will update my theory. But as of now, he has only been removed from Federal 2, which I don't believe is, it's not like Judge Hinkle is not known about this crap. Judge Bolitho has probably been like going back and forth with him, like, hey, I have this fucking crazy ass case. What the hell do I do? What the hell do I do? And because Judge Bolitho is a magistrate judge, which is a baby federal judge. He's a first, 8-year term. We looked up the differences. Hinkle has been on the bench for damn near 30 years. He, as a district court judge, has a lot more authority to, I don't know, bring people in with the marshal service. He has a lot more leeway than a district or than a magistrate judge. So with that, I believe that because of all the nefarious activity going on with Federal 2, not to say there's none going on with Federal 1, but Federal 1 is supposed to be a simple 1 plaintiff, 2 defendant case. Pretty cut and dry. Whereas Federal 2 is the shit show of a pro se defendants and people possibly getting legal help from people who aren't allowed to provide legal help, and people name calling and who honestly writes closeted homosexual and alligator fucker in a federal court document and expects there to be no repercussions? So I don't think that he was removed from this case because of anything that happened in another case. I believe, 1, he probably has been asking to be removed from these fucking cases for a while. So, yes, this right here. Hinkle has the power to sanction dues for no showing the show cause hearing. Yeah, whereas Bolitho has to go to his superior judge for that anyway. So it's one of those situations where I think there was more to it than he didn't file sanctions against Bruce. Well, 1, that's a different freaking case. Like, Remember, different case. Yes, same judge, some same defendants, but different case. Different case. Remember that. We have to remember that even though this all gets muddied together, this is a completely different case with completely different accusations. That everything gets muddled together. And we need to remember that it is two separate cases. Federal one plaintiff, two defendants. Relatively. Sorry, John. When Bruce got involved, it went from being, yeah, it sucks. It might suck for y'all, but like it's relatively simple, straightforward. You know, mediation might have worked, shit like that, to whatever the hell Federal 2 turned into. It's just shit. But the actions of people in Federal 2 does not, even the judge, the actions of the judge in Federal 2 does not impact, or the actions of the judge in Federal 1 does not impact. And I think that's where some people are getting, because it's all been muddied together. And it's like, no, guys, we have to remember these are two separate cases. Two separate cases. Yes, some overlap, some overlapping defendants, and an overlapping judge. However, and Bruce did make it very complicated for Bolitho in the sense of when he sanctioned him in Federal 1, you instantly know that there's going to be you can't sanction a case that's on a stay. Like that's an ethical dilemma right there. And second, we can agree to disagree on that, John. You have your opinions and I have mine. You are entitled to your opinions and I am entitled to mine. We can agree to disagree on certain things. Do I think that I have opinions and they're not popular with anybody? I remember, John, I hate everybody. I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally. That's why when I run shit through AI to see if it's written by AI, I even run the judge's orders because I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally, even the judge. But like to talk about Bolitho being removed from Federal 2 because of his actions or inactions in Federal 1 is like, y'all should know better. Y'all really should know better. And that's when people start thinking with more emotion than common sense and fact. Like, let's be honest here. Like, people have gotten so emotionally involved in that, in this, then people have gotten so emotionally involved in this that common sense goes out the window. And I'm on both sides. I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally. All right. And this was again Luthmann Sr. Fed 2 is a definition of litigation that is necessary for people meddling. I just think that it's like, yes, I talk about it, but there's a difference between talking about it and literally putting yourself in there. Someone wise, and don't tell him I said he was wise because he's going to get a big head. Someone wise once said, if you are out in town and you're in person and you talk shit about someone, you're going to get punched in the face. Don't condone violence, but it's generally the shit that kind of happens. You talk shit about someone on the internet, your ass is going to get sued. Yes, one does not impact the other for the most part, except one can help prove two. Yeah, but two can't affect one much. Yeah, it's more like the actions of the people, the actions of like the judge and motions in Fed 2 really can't affect, one, with the exception of if Bolitho sanctioned Bubbles in Federal 1, and then Cameron filed which is Bruce's lawyer, filed a motion, because this shit's gonna, and I'm sure this has flown through everybody in that freaking courthouse's head. of when or if he gets sanctioned in federal 1, you know there's going to be a motion to vacate the judge in federal 2 because of, he sanctioned me. Now I'm a defendant. Like, so it's kind of one of those, like, I'm sure another reason that he got taken off of this case was just a giant ethical dilemma. It's just easier if you... Oh, yes, Garen, there's 2 things that are free in life. The ability to mind your business and stay in your own damn lane. So, oh yeah, and being kind is free too. That's the 3rd one, but that's not as dramatic. All right. Richard A. Luthmann Sr., also known as Richard Luthmann. You're outing yourself, bro. You're outing yourself because, 1, I know that your freaking senior did not write this because this is written by the same person. AI's comparison is written by the same person that wrote the control document 115-6, which was from the Middle District of Florida, which was Luthmann versus Dinesh. He didn't sign it. He didn't sign that document, Junior. He calls himself Richard Luthmann. He called himself Richard Luthmann on LinkedIn. So it's here. How do you expect this right here, also known as Richard Luthmann? You're outing yourself. This is what happens when you write, when you are emotional when you write. The only people who should be emotional when they write are drama writers or like fan fiction, because this shit is fucking nuts. But if you call if senior is known by Richard Luthmann and junior doesn't use junior and calls himself Richard Luthmann, and you use your dad's address in a legal filing in another district in Florida, you can't blame anybody but yourself. So your argument, have a good day. I've already read this. Bye. All right. An individual unskilled in the science of law. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm having to control what I want to say versus what, All right. Especially appears for the limited purpose of contesting service and jurisdiction and submits these objections pursuant to FRCP 72 and 28 U.S. Code 636 to Magistrate Judge Zachary C. Bolitho's October 8th order, striking his filings, document 116 and 117, as obscene and improper. Sorry, obscene and improper. This is not the way a fucking court... Patrick, hey, how are you? It has been so long. How are you? Unskilled in the practice of law. Yeah, very skilled in the verbiage of Latin. And he is a pharmacist. But that being said, like, there's not... I mean, there's Latin in medicine, but like... Oh, it's good. I'm a lurker and just then don't comment much because it's hard for me to do. I just want to say thank you for reading a comment before responding to it. It makes it easier for people like me. And I try to bring it up on the screen before I respond to it so that either lurkers, people who aren't exactly like, because people, even lurkers, like some of y'all I don't consider lurkers because you're not lurking, you're just like busy. Like you're just busy. So, and replay crew, it's always replay crew because on these, my screenshots of my chats have ended up on people's Discord servers. And I've been shown the Discord servers because, the internet is forever. However, with that being said, I don't do I don't do live chat replay on these streams specifically to protect my chat. So that's why I try to bring up, I don't just like respond to chats, I try to bring them up on the screen so replay crew knows what the hell I'm talking about. So usually catch replays. Well, it's good to see you. And DR, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Oh, all right. My sister has a doctorate in pharmacy. 4 to 5 pharmacists agree Elixir is a tool. The 5th pharmacist was his dad. My boss thinks I'm working, not lurking. Yeah. And Liz Barnes, but I love your critical thinking, such a great quality of a person. Some people really need to learn how to be better. Well, it's the thing of like, and Papa Squid is in the chat, and you can blame him for this. Squid Proco, please lower your blood pressure. See, my dad always keeps me in check. My dad always keeps me in check. Like I will get messages from my dad. Calm your ass down. Calm your ass down. Are you all right? Getting a little excited there. Because my dad knows me. But with that being said, my dad taught me when I was really little that you can't make decisions based on emotions because emotions can change second to second. Facts and critical thinking skills take a little bit longer to change minds. Whereas, like, you can go from being excited, happy to pissed off in like a second. So this is my dad's fault. Devil's fan 9500. What Squid? Why do you think these people constantly involve themselves in this and cry when they get added to the lawsuit? I don't know. My brain book right here, and Gail, I kept it in front just for you. The lymphedema book is behind. I just my psychological self, and this is not me diagnosing, I'm not a psychologist, but occupational therapy has a large psychology. I had to take a lot of psych classes in college to get my degree. That being said, and I love what makes people tick. I've seen things, and I've been talking to a couple people about this behind the scenes about starting this new channel and keeping that one professional and my college degree, things like that, keeping it drama free. And it's people seeing what gets attention, and everybody likes attention. Everybody likes to have big numbers. Everybody likes to have the hot topic, the viral video, the numbers, because at the end of the day, for a lot of people, this isn't a hobby. This isn't something that they do after work. This is their work. For me, yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but with the exception of working a part-time job once a week for my friend's business, and if he wasn't my friend, I would not work for his business, or I would not work. It's this is people's jobs, and when it pays the bills, it's exciting to talk about things that get numbers. Texas Siren, I would love to talk to you because I don't have a psychology degree. If I go back to school for another degree, for most colleges, I'm 3 credits, which was 1 class away from a minor in psychology. That's how many credits I've taken. So like it's one of those situations where I feel like people want to talk about the things that get numbers, because numbers gets view hours, gets ad revenue, gets super chats, gets money. And yes, you can call people behind the scenes, other YouTubers can call people grifters all they want. But when YouTube pays your bills, you got to do what you got to do to get by. So I get it. However, I feel like some people put themselves in, and you see this in school, that YouTube is like a giant high school. You see people put themselves in situations for attention. And this is not everybody. I'm not singling anybody out. This is just a general thing I've noticed from being a YouTuber for 1.5 years versus being someone who just watched streams. It's one of those situations where I just think people want attention and then it backfires. And it's like, and now they're in too deep. And the thing about society these days is how hard is it for people to say, I was wrong or I messed up, or when you see people on the internet apologize, they don't apologize. They do a non-apology. I'm sorry. It's like my mother-in-law. When she apologized to my sister-in-law, she said, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. That's just the way God made you. That's not an apology. And a lot of these people's apologies aren't genuine and they don't want to apologize. So it's like if so, I don't know Jeremy, and this is why I say Jeremy and I are friends, because we don't know each other. Like, he doesn't know my damn first name. Like, we don't talk. But I'm Jeremy strikes me as the kind of person where it's like he will not back down to a fake person. If someone is genuine with him and like, oh shit, I apologize, I didn't mean to do that. Like, I'm sorry, I interjected myself. I'm gonna mind my own damn business now. Sorry. He might have, I don't know. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but he just strikes me as that person to be like, fine, whatever, just leave me alone. Like, just leave me alone. But if you push him and you won't back down, neither will he. So the more people kept talking, the more he's like, well, you keep talking. Let's fuck around and find out. And, yeah, if you're offended, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got offended. That's JKD Buck. That's always my apology, because I'm like, well, not always. I try, if I really did screw up, to like, apologize. But sometimes when people, when people apologize, it's like, you got offended because I chose the wrong song. Like, you got offended because you didn't like my ending, my outro, or you didn't like my opinion on one case and you got offended. My opinion shouldn't offend anybody else because it's not a fact. It's my opinion. Like, there's that little, and that's why other people's opinions, most of the time, unless it's like someone I'm super close to, don't really offend me, because it's your opinion. Everybody's got one. Yet some use YouTube to beg for money and con people into giving them money for false issues. It's something that continues to plague society. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And that's why, and YouTube makes it super easy too. Like, I did this super chat goal as like a joke, because I'm probably, depending on if I have time, going to do a Q&A sometime soon. It's just one of those things. It's fun. But I think YouTube makes it super easy for people to, and they do it for their creators to make money, because if their creators make money, so do they, because YouTube takes 30%. However, it's, it's like YouTube makes it too easy. And if you're not genuine, and it's, yeah, YouTubers want money, gingers want your soul. You Google YouTuber apology kit. Oh no, I don't want that on my history. All right. Lots of channels that cover the Hale stuff are making it about them. It's happening on both sides, like the game room in a mental hospital. That's an interesting way of putting it, but yeah, true. And it's not about us. The only thing that I want to make this about me is in the sense of the outcome of this case could impact and could set a case precedent for YouTube as far as what happens if you're threatened online, or what happens if someone does try to go on and talk shit about you and impact your bottom line. Because at the end of the day, this is how I help pay my bills. So it's one of them situations where it's like, that's why I'm interested in it, and it's interesting to me because I'm interested in how it could long-term impact me as a YouTuber, not how am I going to interject myself into this case today, because no, I never want to be a party on a case. And the one time that I got close, I emailed Judge Bolitho I forwarded Judge Bolitho the email that I received from a certain settlement. I'm like, oh, nope, not even going to be a part of this case. Don't include me. Keep me out of it. Like, yeah. See, exactly. That I totally forgot, but that's a good way of putting it. Jay and Char never got along until she saw the truth and apologized to Jay. Yeah, and her apology was genuine. Like, I haven't talked to her in a long time, but I have talked to her, and she seems like a very genuine person to me. So yes, some things are best to be avoided. Yes. Yeah, I'm humble because if I wasn't humble, you realize there's one person in the chat, another person who hangs out in the chat a lot, but she's at work right now, or she's at home right now. I had people that like made me stay humble, because if you don't, you got an earful and possibly a pick your own switch kind of situation if you weren't humble. So, Jeremy said all he was doing was putting a scrapbook of his life on YouTube. Everyone tried interfering with his video blog. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if your YouTube channel is about your life and you interject yourself into someone's life and you get mad that you're all of a sudden the subject of their YouTube channel, it's like, life, YouTube. I don't, some things don't leave, some things just make you go, and you're like, did your parents not teach you common sense as a kid? But the obscene and improper, I lead you back to the opening statement here. Obscene and improper. Funny, yes, but maybe for like a Friday night stream where you like have a beer and you're just chilling out and not really talking about anything serious. Not for a federal court case. Yep. Dad never made me pick a switch. Mom did. But, Mom and Dad didn't live in the same state, so there's reasons for that. All right. This order provides no findings of fact, reasoning, or citation to controlling authority, and therefore fails under the governing standard of review. A district judge must consider timely objections and modify or set aside any part of the order that is clearly erroneous or contrary to law. This is another reason why I think that Judge Bolitho was removed from this federal too, in the sense, and like I said, my opinion will be modified if it's federal 1 too, federal 1 as well. However, as of now, it is only in there for federal 2. So, it's just one of them situations where, like, when he said a district judge must consider timely objections, if all this stuff has to be referred to a district judge anyway, it's like he has more power. They want him to review this stuff anyway. It's kind of like, if I'm going to have to go through you, you might as well just be the one to do it. So it's if you become part of the subject of YouTube content and do not like it, move on for a couple of weeks. Creators in chat will move on to the next, i.e. MLS. Nobody talks about his channel anymore. Funny story. I was actually on my other channel, just doing some like changing the about me and stuff, and adding a picture when I was in a chat, and it was too hard to switch back and forth. So I was just in that chat, and I said hi to him in that chat, and he actually said hi to me back. I say hi to him all the time because I have no hard feelings. It's been a year since he was an asshole in my chat, but he had been on my channel before. He was the first lawyer to be on my channel, even before Vices was on my channel. So like, he actually came and gave his legal opinion on like the Alec Baldwin case and stuff. So I have no hard feelings, but he will not say hi to me in a chat. However, he will not say hi to me in a chat, but he said hi to my other thing, and I just laughed because most people in chat knew it was me because I had said, hey, by the way, this is my new channel. And this is my other account. I'm just having a hard time switching back. I don't know how people have like 5, 6, 7, 8 alt accounts and parody accounts and shit like that. Y'all amaze me because I can't even keep up with 2. Yeah, he was a lawyer, correct? Why is he filing this nonsense and defamatory statements and legal filings? Technically, this is his dad. However, we have a authorship comparison that ChatGPT thinks that 115-6, the control document for Luthmann, and 120 were written by the same person. So his dad might have signed it, but according to ChatGPT, he is the person who wrote it. So, you know, and Hazelmoney Angle, thanks for the £5 banana fund to be redeemed by the end of November. Yeah, I have the one and only one. I have enough keeping up with the one. And I literally started the second one only because I want to put different content over there. It's not to like hide and agitate people or anything like that. The YouTube algorithm does not like the going back and forth between like 5 or 6 different topics. So I'm going to keep this one legal and that one medical. So, did you hear that, Dad? And Mom too, when you watch this on replay. And my parents are both mods, and they not only keep me in check, but they keep chat in check. An order is contrary to law when it misapplies or disregards the binding precedent, clearly erroneous, when it lacks support and record. And he mentions, yeah. The magistrate judge's summary striking of pleadings on subject of aesthetic grounds meets both criteria. No, the aesthetic grounds are you calling Jeremy an alligator fucker. And with all of that you said, closeted homosexual, whatever, you don't have the balls to put the word fucker and all of that he put at the top of that. But you didn't have the balls. You had to put an asterisk for the letter U. I mean, come on. And Ninja Puppy, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Wow, goes quit. I'm like, yeah. Because if it was proven Richard Luthmann Jr. wrote this document, that would be practicing law without a license, which is a felony. Yeah. The felony, the F word. And JKD Buck, thanks for being a member for 4 months. Squid Nation. And Squad Bob, thanks for the 1 gifted Squid Protocol membership. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the super chats and everything. Grandma Sue, I watched your short of picking up 215 pounds. You go, girl. Thanks. That is why my whole back from my neck all the way down to my ankles is sore today. But I also did 205 twice and then 215. So, Yeah. All right. Clear error and legal impropriety. The October 8th order striking Mr. Luthmann's filings is obscene and improper, is clearly erroneous as a matter of fact and contrary to law. I don't know, calling someone an alligator fucker in a federal legal document sounds pretty wrong to me. I'm just saying. I'm just Patrick W. So as not to mix the two, I can assume you won't be talking about GA1 in either channel. Actually, Patrick, from last year, in like October or November of last year, I have a live stream talking about GA1. So, who put that in a legal did you, Diggity Buck, did you miss this? Right here. Jeremy Hale, paid internet agitator, elder abuser. I have massive problems with that one just from a healthcare worker who was actually seen. I have a problem with all of it, but that one particularly gets me because when I've seen actual elder abuse, this shit ain't it. Degenerate, closeted homosexual, and alligator fucker. This is the third document with that in it. And you're trying to object that that's not improper, and you put it in there again. You know, have a good one. Get some rest. Oh my goodness. Steven, come on, Buck, take the Prevagen. Yep. Just when you think it can't get any more ridiculous, here we are. But it gets more ridiculous. Just wait. We'll get there. It might be a while, but we'll get there. The ruling is devoid of reasoning, analysis, or reference to the evidentiary record. He didn't make it past the first paragraph. He never read the full motion because you put that as the first paragraph and you put that as your header, and no one's going to take you fucking seriously. It probably went in the damn circle file as soon as the judge read that. I'm just... all right. The only justification offered is the filings contain an obscene caption, a conclusion unsustainable under any definition of obscenity. Obscene speech is limited to material depicting sexual conduct appealing to the prurient interest, presented in a patently offensive way and lacking serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Miller v. California. The fuck? Mr. Luthmann's captions, while poignant, contain no sexual material whatsoever. Alligator fucker is not sexual material or implication of sexual material. I'm just saying. This is no offense to Jeremy, but that implies something, you know? I wish. Yes. Yes. God, I hope so. Alligator flipper, and he hasn't had any of his limbs bitten off. I know, that's a skill. Oh my god. Violation of due process. Magistrate judge's summary of striking filings also violates the procedural and constitutional safeguards of due process and free expression. Procedurally striking a pleading is a severe remedy appropriately only when a filing is redundant, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous. Oh, like this one? Just saying. Just saying. just a thought. Yeah, pays their refund, laughing my stuff. Yeah, like the government. You know how slow the government is to get a refund on anything, right? Oh my god, the real question is whether or not the alligators consented. We're not even gonna go there. We're not even gonna go there. Timothy, thanks for the 5 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. Always appreciated. And I'm just Jen. Thanks for the $1.49 super sticker. All right. I'm just not even going to address that. All right. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12F, and even then, only after notice and appropriate opportunity to be heard. No such notice preceded the purge of Mr. Luthmann's filings. Well, here's the thing. Scandalous and offensive and obscene is subjective as well. So what one person might see as offensive and obscene, another person might not. I managed to mute myself in time. All right. Baby Squid's orthodontic fund, not orthopedic. Orthodontic. Banana fund, Pacer bill, groceries. All of these are reasonable. I'm a really bad grifter or whatever you call it, but Gail she's got some skill to her. All right. Substantively, the filings addressed allegations of elder abuse, fraudulent service, and abuse of judicial process, issues of public significance. Speech on such matters, even if caustic or offensive, remains constitutionally protected. California. One man's vulgarity is another's lyric. Hustler magazine v. Falwell. Here's the thing. One man's vulgarity is another lyric. This is where when you talk too much, you contradict yourself, because you can't say it wasn't obscene, but then say one man's vulgarity is another man's lyric. Those two things contradict themselves. You can't have it both ways. And because you can't have it both ways, one of them, you're either lying or full of shit. And sometimes I'm not really sure which is up. I'm not even going to read that because I can't say that with a straight face. All right, Ninja Puppy, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Baby Squid's Nanner Fund. Oh my god, I went grocery shopping this morning. Shit's expensive. It's cheaper than it was, but it's still freaking expensive. All right, outrageousness is an inherently subjective term. Okay, we're not seeing the problem with this. Okay, we're paragraph 6. So he says, the only justification offered is the filings contain an obscene caption, a conclusion unsustainable under any definition of obscenity. Obscene speech is limited to material depicting sexual conduct appealing to the, presented in a patently offensive way, lacking serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. That's supposed to have literary. I don't see it that way, but I don't see it that way. We can agree to disagree on that one. But you can't have that and then say this. Outrageousness is inherently a subjective term, which I literally just said, which would allow juries to impose liability on the basis of their tastes or views. You can't, but it is, and you can't. If outrageousness is a subjective term, so is obscene. What I don't understand is why would you be so upset about being served that in a case that you're constantly talking about, from what I understand, that you can't just say, yeah, then you can't just accept service. Instead, you are dragging someone in who probably has no idea, based on the way these were written, the wording used, and using our control document from another case that he wrote. The same person wrote this. Also, it looks like it was signed with your opposite hand. It looks like when I wrote my name with my left hand, and then I wrote my name with my right. It looks like that. Like, it literally looks like my name when I write it with the opposite hand. So that's true. This is true too. So you just can't have it both ways. And this is where I have like a serious problem when you talk too much and you try to be. This is my other problem with lawyers. And this is my problem with lawyers, not just in this case, but just lawyers as a profession. Y'all try to act so damn smart that sometimes you contradict your own filing because you try to use words that are bigger than your freaking IQ. I'm just, I'm just you know what I mean? You think regular grocery shopping is expensive? Try having dietary restrictions. Gluten-free, dairy-free, and lower fat and sodium options are more expensive. Yeah, I had to go gluten-free for a while because I had really bad eczema. And I found that when I went gluten-free, I don't have celiac. I don't need to go gluten-free for physical health reasons. But when I went gluten-free for like a month, my freaking eczema on my scalp and my hands and my feet gone. No blotchy red patches anymore. Now I can eat it and I'm fine, and it still doesn't come back. But like, I gave it up, and it was, it's just one of those situations where it's like when lawyers try to be too lawyery, they end up out talking their. It's one of the reasons that I try to use plain language so I don't confuse myself, because we just, with cognitive deficits, you gotta work within your own. I think they don't think that anyone can join the dots saying the same on a live and writing it in court docs. Yeah, and the internet is, and there's people out there who screen record everything. When I eat gluten, I end up looking 9 months pregnant. I look 9 months pregnant anyway. But I'm just trying to cut out sugar. These are my sweets right now. Freeze-dried strawberries. So, yeah, it's just squid is itchy and scaly. I'm like a fish, not a squid. Squid going to Meijer tomorrow. Can I grip for Meijer money? I would love to go clothes shopping at Meijer because they have the best clothes. Anyway, side note, how are you doing, 3 Awesome Dogs? Are you doing okay? If you're, if you are the praying type or the positive vibes type, send him 3 Awesome Dogs his way. He could really use it right now. Magistrate judge imposed a content-based restriction that cannot survive scrutiny. And the thing about this is, with knowing what I was told about Judge Hinkle, this is not going to go over well at all. Judge Hinkle seems to be a very by the book person. It almost to a fault. So I really don't think this is going to go over the way they think it is. I believe lawyers lack the skills to communicate in plain language. It would be so much easier to understand if it was normal speech. Devil fan, part of my career was spent in inpatient rehab, and 60% of our patients were stroke. So I try my best to not only have to talk about stuff the way people can understand it in plain language, because I worked with people that could barely understand plain language, if at all. So, so sometimes that's why I talk a little too simply, and I have a toddler, so, you have to break it down. Yeah. I'm always in teaching mode. I just can't. Like, Reed versus Town of Gilbert, content-based regulations of speech are presumptively unconstitutional and must be narrowly tailored to serve a compelling governmental interest. All of this goes back to how do I put this? All this goes back to that first paragraph, and when you call another person those things in a filing, in my opinion, your filing is obscene. It lacks. I can't take you seriously. I don't know the legal basis for that. However, who actually wrote this filing? We will just really quick, when we finish this section, I will show you the assessment. What happened? What happened? Did we get a package? Yeah. Did we get a box? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go get it for me? Yeah. Okay. Come here. You want to say hi? All right. We might have an intermission because there's a box on the front porch, and the little will not let me. When it's put there, she will not. She will not let it go until it's in the house. So I will be right back. But I will leave this. I will change the screen. Ma'am, we can stop screaming though. We can stop screaming though. This is the analysis of the. This is the paint chips is Luthmann. Luthmann is right back. It's not. However, it is admissible in the court of squid and on my YouTube channel. So I will be right back. All right. All right. Thank you for so boxes in the house. It's like this big. I know what it is. I ordered something from Amazon, but I ordered HSA stuff, so it's like, cough syrup and stuff like that. However, it's just one of those situations where the district judge is handling the motion, not case. I presume potential punishment is beyond the powers of a magistrate. Yeah, I do believe that, but the wording from what it said, and I have to go to my saved cases here. From what it said is that all motions from and Ooh. It says motions no longer referred to Magistrate Judge Zachary Bolitho. So it just says, notified that action is needed on motion 120 or 120 for motion for reconsideration, but it literally says motions no longer referred to Magistrate Judge Zachary Bolitho. So, it literally is it. I mean, it literally says motions no longer referred to, and that's usually what says when the judge is being replaced. But remember, it just says this on Fed 2, not Fed 1. So it's a situation. So but here's this authorship. Yes, it's not admissible. It's like a lie detector test, not admissible in court. However, Paint Chips is just barred. Paint Chips did time in jail or prison and is just barred. So he cannot actually he cannot represent anybody, or he can't act on behalf of anybody legally. That would be a felony. Practicing law without a license. So it's the 15-6 is the complaint by Richard A. Luthmann in another case. These two were supposedly written by Senior, and it says Rudolph, but it's not. But it says declaration, but AI had a problem with the fact that this was not a legal filing. It was an affidavit, basically. So 115-6, 116, and 120 likely author were all the same person, which is not the person who supposedly signed it, which is another problem. Oh yes, convoluted mess. Can this be a complex case like lady who likes to swallow? Sorry. I mean, it could be. Yeah, I just oh my god. Yeah, these people don't respect squat. Oh my goodness. I just can't. All right, so getting back to the motion. That was that quick assessment. That was me and Chat GPT having a long conversation this morning. We're having conversations about branding and stuff, and I run every document that is posted through AI to say who wrote this, compare the writings of this document to the writings of this document, because I was going to try to do it on my own, but then the thought of going through hundreds of pages of documents when I can't even keep my own live stream straight half the time was overwhelming. So I'm just like, let me just let AI do it. But Chat GPT and Just Done AI put it in a nice little PDF for me. So now I just save it to the a folder with like live stream 1015. And now I have all my documents saved. I'm learning slowly how to be organized. Learning. All right. Like this is just appearance of partiality. Okay. Problem with this, and I have problems with everything in this motion. So like sorry for the constant interruptions. But partiality, I'm sorry. Jeremy's side, i.e. Megan Tug, anybody in their chats, a lot of people, can't remember who said it. Richard, I'm sorry. Yeah, Richard, you said you didn't like the judge either. And I'm like, if no side likes the judge, if neither side likes the judge is probably impartial. I'm just, yeah. You know, the summary striking of filings concerning elder abuse and judicial integrity raises an appearance of partiality inconsistent with 28 U.S. Code 455, which requires recusal when a judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. Yeah, I don't think the judge is impartial. The judge might be soft because the judge is a relatively new federal judge. I think he's only been a federal judge for 2 years, maybe. He was a law professor before that, and then a federal prosecutor. So, like, he's a relatively new federal judge. So I think he was kind of tiptoeing a little bit because you never want to be the judge that sanctions everybody, or the judge who does stuff that can be appealed. You never want to be that judge who has all their decisions appealed. So I think he was trying to toe a fine line, and towing that fine line just made him appear soft. Not as soft as baby shit like some people in this world, but soft. So I think he's in general just seems like a nice guy and does not want to be harsh if he doesn't have to. So he tries to give people every opportunity they can to correct themselves. However, some people just can't be given more opportunities because you give them an inch and they take 10 miles. So, yeah. Yes, I don't know him, so I don't know if I like him. This has turned into a clown show, much reversible error in his thing. And I think it's not because he's a bad judge. I think it's because he wants to be, one, he doesn't want any of his stuff reversed. And two, he does not want to be seen as partial. So trying to be so impartial that you end up not doing anything and not being effective, if that makes sense. You ever know those people who try to be so nice to everybody that nothing ever gets accomplished? So, when court suppresses filings of critical of its own processes without explanation, you called the plaintiff in this case an alligator fucker. And I'm sorry, Jeremy, to repeat that. If he ever sees this, I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but like, it's like the common sense, and I understand sometimes common sense and law do not completely go together. However, the judge probably didn't read past that first paragraph because you were obscene and you called Jeremy, you defamed Jeremy in a freaking header. You know? Yeah, only been a magistrate for less than 3 years. He'll be a good judge when he learns to drop a hammer on nonsense. Yeah. Yes, wishy-washy. There's the good way of putting it. He's wishy-washy. He doesn't want to be the, he kind of reminds me of Eeyore, where he just, he's just kind of there. He potted plant. He called himself a potted plant. Like, think about that. Like, we thought it was funny at the time and everybody kind of laughed at it, but like, the man called himself a potted plant, which just screams inaction to me. You know? Imagine if Larry had him on the show with his mac and cheese. Maybe we'd be living a different reality. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. Such an appearance of bias undermines public confidence in the judiciary's fairness and independence. Yeah. According to the October 8th order is both clearly erroneous and contrary to law, disregards constitutional boundaries of judicial authority, deprives Mr. Luthmann of due process. You're not a party in this case. If you would have just said thank you, move along, and potted plant in a blue bucket of crap. I heard manure is a really good. Have you ever heard of Milorganite? It comes from a certain shit show, literally. Standard of review under 72A. 28 U.S. Code 636 and FRCP 72A, district judge must modify or set aside any part of a magistrate judge's orders that is clearly erroneous or contrary to law. And reading this, part of me thinks that this is another reason that Bolitho got removed, because apparently senior is not going to let any of this go until a district judge looks at it. And for a magistrate to see a case completely through, all parties have to consent. So it's like, let's just take you off this case now, and that way we don't have any issues with them doing it. And because in federal one, all parties consented to Bolitho handling that case to the end. However, since this is brought up and this statement was used, it's kind of a federally 2, 3 if you include the circuit or the district judges vacating the motion to vacate Bolitho from Bubbles. But yeah, hey Bunsen Rockinstone, how are you? And Knock It Offler, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey Squidly. I think when that prick talks about these certain caustic words being free to use, he ignores the fact that legal documents should be written within the rules of decorum. Have some damn decorum and pertinence to the law and courts. Yes, have some damn decorum. Like, it's not that hard. Like, there is a huge difference sometimes between what we want to say and what we actually say. Like, what is said in the brain is not what always comes out of the mouth or the fingers. Like, there is a difference because it goes through a filter, a very small filter with me, but a filter nonetheless. It's just one of those situations where it's like, do people not have this? Like, I know the older you get, the less your filter matters because you kind of don't give a fuck. And I broke my give a damn was busted. Like, my give a damn, I never had one. So, we just, but I think this is part of the reason that Bolitho was removed too. I was talking to a few people yesterday and today about it, and seeing how some of the dramatic responses and the things are like, oh, I hated him, whatever, blah blah blah. He did this, and I'm like, I think I told one person, and this is not a quote from my conversation, but just paraphrased. I said something along the lines of everybody wants to jump to the emotional reasoning. Let's think about the more like plausible and common sense reasoning before we like jump to the emotions run high situation. So because emotions run high in all of this, but when we see, the thing about me is, in order to be emotional when reading some of this, I have to have emotions, and I just fucking forgot those two. Um, I took a page on a Mr. Squid's book and lost a lot of my emotions in the last few years. Yeah. So it's just, yeah. This standard ensures that magistrate judges' non-dispositive rulings remain subordinate to Article 3 judicial oversight. An order is clearly erroneous when, upon review of the entire record, the district court is left with the definite and firm conviction that a mistake has been committed. I think there has been a mistake committed. It's wishy-washiness. Yeah, it just, it I have followed this case for 7 years on every channel. Someone who tell me who is George. George is Jeremy's fiance. Yeah, federal one is still on stay. Yeah, that's. I did mention that at the beginning of the stream. That's good. Why, and my opinion will change if that gets changed. But as of now, it's only federal too. So I have to take what I'm seeing in the court records as. I don't go by what I hear. I go by what I see. So I think he means Jeremy. I think he means Jeremy. It's, got to keep switching channels. Apparently, cartels have transmitted bounties on all U.S. law enforcement. 5K for wounding, 15K. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. All right. And Chris Chalene, thanks for the $20 super chat. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Hope this helps with the court doc fees. We appreciate you keeping the shit show as organized as possible while remaining entertaining. I'm trying, because I know that just reading court docs is boring. And that's part of the reason that I read them with you, is because if I were to read them by myself, I would be bored out of my mind too. So we read them together and we discuss what we think of them while still trying to be based on what we see. And that's why I don't pay attention to a lot of other, like, the drama channels and stuff. The drama channels, like the hater channels and stuff like that, because I just can't. I just can't do. There's so much drama with all of this shit, and like how much hate that I've gotten from this, and like people that go through and dislike all my stuff. Thanks, the people that watch my channel because they hate me, make that one make sense. It's just, like you said, everything is subjective, but Elemental P and her crew have brought this into a complete level of harm and destruction and financial ruin. Yeah. And that's why it's one of those things where I was like, I told John Cook, and I told John Cook, I'm like, you're literally the only person making any money, because as I've been told, and nobody has showed me evidence to the contrary, but as I've seen, none of the funds from any of the like GoFundMe's or anything like that have had John Cook's name on them. They've all had Elemental P's, or they've been super chats or money given to Felisa. So when I say John Cook is literally the only person not making money, unless his name was on one of those GoFundMe's that I am missing and that I do not know about, and he hasn't said anything. He hasn't told me that either. And I would think that with him being in chat, if that truly is him, he would be the first one to correct that record and say, well, yeah, I am, like, he's the only one not making money. And when I say not making money and without a YouTube channel, somebody who shall remain Lynette conflated those two statements together, and it was like not making money and not having a YouTube channel. I didn't mean one and the same. Yes, some people make money from their YouTube channel, but other people make money from GoFundMes. And as from what I've seen, John Cook has not been the recipient of any of the GoFundMes. None. That I'm aware of. If he wants to correct the record, he is more than happy to contact me and correct the record, and I will correct my statement. However, he is the person that has not been the beneficiary of any funds. So the only person not making money off of this case is him. And I was not afraid to tell him that. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm not absolving him. I'm just saying, like, in the sense of like monetized YouTube channel, your name is the actual recipient. Because when you do a GoFundMe or a Give, Send, Go, I've never done a GoFundMe, but doing a Give, Send, Go, you have to put your name and your bank account information in as the recipient. So you are the recipient of that money. Has John Cook been the recipient? I don't know. So, yeah, those ones I don't pay much attention to. John Cook was in here on Monday and said that he went to the courthouse and filed a motion, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. I believe him that he went to the courthouse and filed something. He just, I don't know what it is because the county cases are so stupid and really have no impact on me and aren't as entertaining. This possibly has some impact on my career-ish, whatever you want to call it, as a YouTuber. Long term, but still has impact of like online and maybe getting the judicial system to take online issues seriously. The trespass case, I'm like, whatever. Yeah, imagine how many don't know you, never met you, assume the worst, and believe the hate. It's not my imagination. No one knows you or me, but so much hate. You stay in your integrity, morals, and values and vibes. And I'm just me. Like, I'm just me. I'm just me. I'm just me. The only thing that I'm a little bit more in real life is I'm a little bit more vulgar in the sense of like, I don't try to restrict my speech, so to speak. Like I will drop an F-bomb instead of like trying to hold it back and thinking of something better to say. I will just drop it. Like my phone knows how to autocorrect to Cuntosaurus Rex. That is how I talk in real life. Yes, I cuss like a sailor. Yes, I cuss. I would make a truck driver blush. Hey, MS Coast Life, how are you? And Pickle Tink, how are you? All right. Oh, yes, and Gail, thanks. I do have a new channel. There will not be any content up there till next Wednesday is when I'm planning to drop my first video. So there is nothing there right now, but it is my other channel where I will be doing all OT, occupational therapy, corrective exercise. The first video is Can Sitting Cause Pain? And then there's a 4-week series on fall prevention. So with possible checklists and downloadable stuff, I'm working on a whole thing. So, you know. So my goal is to with the other channel is to use my degree and my certifications to keep people from circling the drain of the healthcare system, and get out of that vicious cycle, because I hate the healthcare system that we live in. So, all right, getting back to this, enough side notes. All right, this court owes no deference to errors of law. Legal determinations made by a magistrate judge are reviewed de novo. Likewise, constitutional questions, including those implicating First Amendment expressive rights, due process, or judicial impartiality, under 28 U.S. Code 455, received de novo review, reviewing constitutional violations without deference. Because the order rests on facially conclusory reasoning, omits the required factual findings, and misapplies the settled First Amendment and due process principles within both prongs of Rules 72A's corrective authority, the district court therefore must conduct an independent examination of the record, apply the correct constitutional procedural standards, vacate any portion of the magistrate judge's order that is unsupported by law or fact. And this right here is the legal basis in my mind and the common sense reasoning for why Bolitho was removed from this case. So, erroneous classification as Mr. Luthmann is a non-party. Judge Bolitho's orders summarily deemed Richard A. Luthmann Sr., also known as Richard Luthmann, so you as a non-party without citation to any facts or legal authority, because he's not a party. He's not a party. He's not a party. It's really not, it's not a fucking hard thing to understand. But apparently, I kind of get that vibe. But also he's trying to do what certain people do when they don't have an argument and they try to conflate what happened to them with another topic to muddy the waters. In the sense of here, he's trying to be like, well, his name is Richard Luthmann, and you tried to serve him at his address, and you tried to serve me, so now he's a party. He's not a fucking party, and he knows that he's not being sued, and he's not, like, he could have, and one in the affidavit from the process server was, like, the person who answered the door. Angel. Do you want to bring the box here so I can open it? Yeah. You bring it here so I can open it. What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter, Abe? What's the matter, Abe? Hey. She's just going like this. So go grab a drink, take a bathroom break. Got to do mama stuff. We'll be right back. In a minute.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky. Just
thank you for your patience. The little got one of her little toys stuck behind her little cube shelf, her open shelving, and she couldn't reach it. And everything is a national tragedy. Fly your flags at half staff. Baby squid lost a toy. All right. Oh, my goodness. A non-party without citation to any facts or legal authority. The record, however, establishes that he is the only Richard Luthmann whom the plaintiffs themselves ever claimed to have served anywhere in the U.S. at their residence or place of abode. You don't go, but he has it only from this motion. And it still says his name. This is what John Cook, this is one of the things that I had a question about. So if you say it's only from this motion, I will believe you, because it still says, come on, on my pacer right here. It still says, referred to Judge Zachary Bolitho, and he was the one who put in, this is the whole thing. This cost me $1.20 to run that. So he put in the show cause order that we'll get to, but motions no longer referred to Magistrate Judge Bolitho. It says motions, not motion. That's where it's like, that's where language is important. And every time I've seen one of those that happen, it you know, so it's one of them situations, because there was another judge on this before that was assigned to this. Hey. Oh, see, this is what she lost. These things. Here you go. I got them. Okay. Angel, I don't know what you want me to do. You want strawberries? I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want, baby. You cannot have my laptop. You want this? Okay. You want up? No. Okay. I don't know what you want. There's also another one. Let's see. Action required. Action no longer required by magistrate judge. It's a thing. I don't know. Yeah, Pacer bill is real. Angel, I don't understand. What do you want this? Yeah. Oh, okay. There. Okay. All she wanted was them connected. Boy. Sometimes, man. I have no idea what she wants. I don't know what she wants sometimes, and I'm like, what do we do here? What do we do here? Like, I love her. I love my daughter so much. But sometimes she thinks that I can understand her better than I can, and her language is getting so much better. However, sometimes she freaks out about the things that are like, I don't know what you're trying to talk about. There's 2 clerical errors. Okay. And you would know more than me. Because that's the thing, John. I, just like I say to people who try to tell me what's going on in other people's streams, I only pay attention to what's written. And to me, language is very important. The way people write stuff is very important. And when it says motions, that's, to me, that's plural more than one. Just just my thing. I just... Squid darling, you can say baby talk like speak Swedish with me sometime. I know like 4 words in Finnish, and that's as close to any language, Scandinavian language, as I get. Because, we will see if it gets taken over by the other judge, but I hope it does, so the shit show stops. Yeah, I do. I do. Just because Bolitho is so wishy-washy. I mean, and I hope he stays on Fed 1, but we'll see. But when it says motions, but his name is still on the docket. So I'm like, and he wrote the motion or the order from yesterday. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it could go either way. According to plaintiff's sworn affidavits of service, the only papers ever handed to a human being or blue taped to a door were those alleged to done at Mr. Luthmann Sr.'s residence in Nogati, Florida. Yes, the same address that is on your document that you filed with the Middle District of Florida in Fort Myers. But I refer you back to like minute 5 or 10 of the stream where I showed his LinkedIn. When you search him on LinkedIn, it says Richard Luthmann with his picture. It does not say Junior. If he has not signed any documents with Junior. He has never used Junior. So if he doesn't use Junior, you reasonably can't expect someone who doesn't know his family lineage to know that he's a Junior. Yeah. I don't know. That sounds pretty I don't know. Ugh. It's just one of those, like, you're trying to make something an issue that's not. Just for the purposes of, this is taking the original. Okay, so judge can't sanction BBB. Here's the reason why right now the judge cannot sanction BBB, because federal 1 is where the sanctions for BBB are. I got it. Federal 1. I've said this 1,000 times, and I keep saying it, and it's like I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it. You can't give sanctions out in a case that's on stay. It's unethical. It's unethical. The case is stayed, which means everything is. It's like trying to put gas in your car if it doesn't even run. It's like there's no point. Like you can't sanction somebody on a case that's on stay. You can literally not do anything. Nothing is filed in that case since July because that case is stayed. Nothing is going on in that case until the bankruptcy is resolved, even sanctions. Everything is on a pause. Everything is on a pause, including sanctions. Everything is on a pause until the bankruptcy. And for those of you who want to be like, well, the bankruptcy is over. Technically, the bankruptcy is not over either because her lawyer filed a motion to reinstate the bankruptcy and they had a hearing scheduled for October 7th. However, with the government shutdown, and you can thank Congress for this one, this extension, and the reason why he hasn't been sanctioned yet is like connecting the dots. It's like the 6 degrees of separation. Federal 1 is stayed. You can't sanction anybody whose case is stayed. It will not be unstayed until the bankruptcy is taken care of. Yes, the bankruptcy, the judge stated that she dismissed it. However, because they filed a motion to reinstate and they filed they scheduled a hearing for that motion to reinstate, it's technically on a pause until that hearing is completed. A final decision will be made at that hearing. Well, that hearing was scheduled for October 7th, but with Congress and the government shutdown and Congress not being able to pass a damn simple CR, is a whole nother topic. The bankruptcy court in the Northern District of Florida filed a temporary order or an administrative order halting all activities until October 31st or until November 1st. So, they won't have that hearing until at least the middle of November. So Federal 1 will at least be on a stay until the middle of November. So everything is linked together. So one problem has led to another, has led to another, has led to another. None of it in Judge Bolitho's control. Yeah. No hearing. Law judge is going to look at paperwork and decide. What they had a hearing, and the hearing was paused because they had a hearing. So they had a legit hearing. It wasn't just she'll take a look at it. It's like they have a hearing scheduled. Whether it's a hearing where they can argue their side or not, or it's just a hearing where she will tell them the answer. Yes and no. If the bankruptcy had truly been dismissed, see, it's that limbo of, yes, it's technically been dismissed, but it's like, it's hard to explain, but no, it hasn't been dismissed. Until it is officially off the record and no other hearings or anything is scheduled and the docket is closed, it is not closed. Just like the thumbnail case, when Lynette all of a sudden wanted to drop the thumbnail case and the plaintiffs, Jeremy and Randy and everybody were like, no. So just because she filed an order to dismiss doesn't mean it's truly dismissed. And I talked about this, I've been talking about this for a week. Every time I say the same things. It's not truly dismissed until after that hearing. Because when they filed a motion, it's an appeal. It's basically an appeal. So it's Yeah. It's yeah. There wasn't a filing say it's getting done on the filing. Last time I checked, there wasn't a they put out an order. It was going to be decided on the paperwork. When was that put in? Because I had checked on Monday and there was nothing. So, like, I had checked on Monday. So unless it's in there, so yes and no. Here's the thing: if Federal 1 was truly on stay and the bankruptcy was truly over, Randy would have filed a motion saying that the bankruptcy was dismissed. He did not. So you guys got to think of what is being said and what is true, but what is in the docket. Federal 1, the last thing that was filed in Federal 1 was July 15th, saying when the bankruptcy is resolved, Randy needs to file an order. If the bankruptcy was truly over, Randy would have filed an order. It's not really that hard to understand. Like, so it's. I checked on Monday and there was nothing. So it's not dismissed, just no hearing. And this is why, like, just because things are said, and yeah, the judge said it was dismissed. I wonder if all the court fees have been paid for the bankruptcy yet. There is nothing in the docket. I checked on Monday and there was nothing in the docket. So unless something was backlogged and in, but not showing on Pacer, you know, like, you screenshotted what? You use it to debunk what I know. Y'all, and, you know, they still have not paid for filings. Even if it's over, she will just start it new. The judge never, let's see, and that's the thing. This is the thing. In the docket, here, we'll fucking check the docket right now. We'll check the docket. I checked on Monday and there was nothing actually in, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't backlogged and it just wasn't showing up. Documents 30, let's just go 25 to. Yeah, the last thing in, I will show you guys what is in the actual docket for the bankruptcy so that we can stop with this. It's in the docket. Fuck no, it's not. I'm telling you. Filing date 10/6, notice of canceled hearing. Court will reinstate, or it says court will rule on papers, but doesn't say when. It also doesn't state when. So, but the court is not doing anything because the court had filed this. So, and I read this yesterday, but the court filed this. God, I hate StreamYard. I really wish that StreamYard would get this crap figured out where you could load multiple documents at the same time. So it did say that they will rule on the documents. However, they didn't say when. And administrative order, hearings in cases adversary October 1st through October 31st, whichever comes first, will be continued by docket entry only to the next available regular hearing after October 31st. In all cases, in the time, 14 or affected by the federal shutdown must take record action is extended through October 31st or 14 days after the shutdown ceases. Adversary proceedings, this is to which the United States it's including its agencies as a party, which is not. So the clerk is authorized and directed to docket continuances and take other action that may be necessary. So literally nothing is happening in this. This is from administrative order regarding continuance, extensions of time, and stays of adversary proceedings due to federal government shutdown. That is literally from the Northern District of Florida Bankruptcy Court. Literally nothing is happening. Like, it's, so if you're convicted of murder, you're still convicted of murder. Same logic. Yes, but no. I see what you guys are saying, but like literally nothing can move forward until this is completely resolved. And it will not be completely resolved until this order from the bankruptcy court. Bankruptcy court is basically doing nothing until November. Yeah. Federal courts are shut down right now. Apparently the criminal courts and civil courts have till the 17th. They're funded up to. But the bankruptcy court was like, nope, we're done. We're done. The judge said there was a stay because of the shutdown. The judge did not state that it was reinstated. Yeah. She said she'll look at the paperwork, but court will rule on the papers. But that's all. And then the administrative order is in the docket. But other than that, there has been nothing to say that it's been reinstated or that they've ruled on the papers. So right now, it's still like... Hi. You want to wash your hands? Yeah. Okay. Go get a towel. So we're in this holding pattern, and it's like, it's frustrating, guys. I know it, but no side has the advantage right now because it's just like we're just there. It's like a rain delay. Nobody won, nobody lost, nobody did anything. We're just kind of there because we're waiting on other shit. And we can't move forward in other cases until this shit is resolved. And this shit can't get resolved until the government gets their shit resolved, which God forbid that ever fucking happens. It's limbo. Yes, it's in limbo. And it's right now, I'm not talking about being dismissed or reinstated. Right now it's limbo. It's nothing. Because as of July 15th, it says in the Federal 1 docket, when this is over or when there's an update within 90 days, file a notice. Randy has not filed shit. Whether Randy has written shit and submitted it to the court or told Jeremy he's going to submit it and Jeremy told other people, I don't know. However, I don't go by what I hear. I go by what's in the damn docket. And right now, there ain't shit in the fucking docket. And I keep telling y'all that, and you keep acting like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which is kind of funny. Like, yes, but you can't sanction anybody at the time of the sanctions. Bubbles was a party, a lawyer in Federal 1. You cannot sanction anybody on a case that stayed. It's unethical. Like, it's unethical. You just can't do it. Like, you just literally can't do it. You will never see anybody do it you will never see it happen in any case because it's unethical. You can't stay a case and put a case on a stay, which is basically freezing it, a rain delay, and then file shit. And sanctions is filing shit. You can't do it. Like, you can't do it. Like, oh my God. What am I talking about, Gary? I'm talking about Lynn's comment that sanctions only involve BBB. It's like, the sanctions, yes, the sanctions only involve Bubbles. However, Bubbles was involved in that case, and you can't sanction anybody involved in that case when the case is on a stay. It's not a hard concept. But I'm done talking about that because, like, I can't say the same thing 100 times and people still try to tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because I know I'm not a lawyer, but fuck. Like, fuck. Like, sometimes. Like, yes, I get it. Keyword was. However, when the case was sanctioned, like when he was the lawyer and when the sanctions needed to be put out, he was in a lawyer. It's unethical. Like, I don't know how many times I can tell, like how many ways I can describe it. You can't put motions in or make decisions in a case that's on a stay. Like, you just can't. Like, it's like putting a baseball game in a rain delay and then going out and throwing a couple pitches. Like, that's not how shit works. Like, it just doesn't work like that. If it's a stay, nothing can be filed, no decisions can be made, no orders can be given out, nothing, not a shit, nothing until the judge lifts the stay. That's, I don't know how many other ways I can say it. I'm kind of getting frustrated with it because I'm sorry I'm getting frustrated, but I'm like, I don't know how many ways I can say nothing can happen in Federal 1. Nothing, not shit. No sanctions, no motions, no orders, no nothing until the stay is lifted. The stay can't be lifted until the bankruptcy is resolved. The bankruptcy can't be resolved until they make a decision on the reinstatement motion, which can't be resolved until our government starts working again. It's a cascading effect, but I don't know how many other ways I can say it because I've literally said it like 30 times. Like, I don't know how I can. I don't know how many ways I can say it. Sorry for getting frustrated. I apologize, but like, I don't know how many ways I can say it. All right. Stupid due process. Erroneous classification as Luthmann as a non-party. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Like, I'm losing IQ points just talking about this. Like, I'm losing IQ points because obviously, Luthmann, if you see this, you are a fucking moron. You have never called yourself a junior in any document that I can find. You don't even call yourself a junior on fucking LinkedIn. So for you to all of a sudden, like, plain semantics to try to get out of something and try to create more paper, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I don't know how otherwise to say it. You're a fucking idiot. Like, you're a fucking idiot. like, just. Yeah, Stephen, but we're not going to get into that because the decisions were being made. They might have the decision made. We don't know. But they can't enter a decision until the stay is lifted. That's the whole fucking point. Oh boy. I gotta take a break because y'all. I need a drink and a strong one. Despite undisputed record, Bolitho disregarded the plain facts and labeled Mr. Luthmann Sr. a non-party because he is, you fucking idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm calling it like I see it. I usually do, but now I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, this is just stupid at this fucking point. Effectively nullifying his standing to contest the validity of the very service that targets it. He's not being targeted, you dumb fuck. Are you like, did you get fucked in the ass too many times? Did you lose too many fucking IQ points in prison that you can't, or are you just this much of an asshole? Like, I'm just, like, I can't with you. Like, you are stupid. Like, you are straight stupid. Mr. Luthmann Sr. is properly filed as a special appearance, challenging personal jurisdiction. He wasn't served, you dumb fuck. And you oh my God, just stop. Like, he's not a goddamn party. Like, he's not a goddamn party. Like, Luthmann has to be dumber than Bubbles. Like, even Bubbles wasn't this stupid. Like, hi, baby. You're sticky. Can you go get a new shirt? Hold on. Let's do this. Go get a new shirt. There you go. Go put that in your dirty clothes and get a new one. No. All right. Y'all, we gotta like do something because this is fucking okay. I'm just not reading the rest of this. I'm pretty sure Megan and Tug went over it. If they didn't, like, it, whatever. Oh my God, he's stupid. But what I really wanted to get into, he just keeps going, and I'm sorry, anybody who brings Hustler magazine into a fucking document is like, okay. Expressive filings on matters of public concern are protected speech. Mr. Luthmann's filings do not concern private grievances, but issue unmistakable public importance, namely documented elder abuse. Sit on it and fucking spin. Yeah, you're all messy. Did you get ice cream all over? Go get your towel. Go get your washcloth. Hey. Hey. I got mom intermission. I need to like bring my blood pressure back down to normal because I'm livid.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight's sun.
All right, getting back to this damn document. All right, expressive filings matter, but public fucking protected speech. Go stick your protected speech up your fucking ass, like, because it can just shove it. Luthmann's filings, while confrontational in tone, decorum. Like here, I can tell you to go fuck yourself because it's my YouTube channel and I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. However, I would not say go fuck yourself in a court document, which is basically what he did multiple times. All right. I told you I needed a drink. I wasn't fucking kidding. Spotted Cow. Best fucking beer on the planet. Check email. Bankruptcy doc. There's no, I don't know. There's no attachment unless I'm losing it. But I had 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 4 o'clock here. I'm not mad at you. I'm just frustrated in general because this fucking idiot, man. Like, I've tried to stay neutral on some people for so long. And just like, but this dude's a fucking moron. Fucking moron. Like, I don't care if I thought that I had like the most like facts all on my side, everything. I would never put a goddamn clown face on a judge and put it in a fucking motion that is going to that judge. How stupid do you have to be? And how above the law do you think you are? I thought that nobody was above the law. I thought that's the game we're playing here. Yeah, sends a clown picture. Literally. Literally. This I have a big problem with him because I've literally seen elder abuse. Like, I've literally had to go to the social worker on my floor about shit I've seen to talk about elder abuse. And I believe the Department on Aging was contacted in regards to certain things that I've reported to social work on my floor. So, like, the fact that you use elder abuse is like saying that fucking painter's tape is hard to rip. Like, it's just not. I just can't. Bolitho's summary striking Mr. Luthmann's filings ignored and effectively suppressed the most serious factual allegations. I'm sorry, just because you are old doesn't mean anything that happens to you is elder abuse. I don't care if you're 72. I don't care if you're a fucking 102. Paperwork and getting paperwork indirectly served to you because your son put your address on a fucking motion in a different court case is not elder abuse. Letting someone sit in a chair in their own shit to the point where you can see their tailbone because they have such a pressure ulcer, that is elder abuse. This is not fucking elder abuse. Like, not fucking elder abuse. I've seen somebody's tailbone. I know what a coccyx looks like. I know what someone's tailbone looks like. And a tailbone on a 91-year-old man is not a pretty sight. Just saying. Apparent bias and grounds for recusal. And this is yet another reason why I think the judge was just like, and there are debates whether he's been relieved from this case permanently or just for this motion. Don't know. However, this would be another reasoning where if I were the district judge, if I were Hinkle, I'd be like, yeah, just go. Like, just go. And I lost like 40 people during that little fucking nightmare. Commence with the blue tape jokes. I don't know if you were here for a couple of streams, but I literally have painter's tape because, like, I have painter's tape. Like, who doesn't? My 3-year-old can rip painter's tape. Are you telling me an 18 or 19-year-old cannot rip painter's tape? That's a very special child. More than educated beyond intelligence than I see. I slide in sideways from work and wow, do you need to be Hydra squid? Yeah. I have multiple problems. And this is why I'm going over the highlights and I'm not reading the entire document anymore because I'm like, yeah. Also, just like when they tried to write letters for Bone Break of, he's a vet. A vet doesn't absolve you from being an asshole and consequences of actions either. Sorry. Like, you can be the most decorated vet ever, or you can be the biggest shitbag on the ship. Like, being a vet doesn't absolve you from being an asshole or consequences of actions. Like, it just doesn't. Yeah. Oh. Public controversy and press ridicule undermining judicial neutrality. You are not press ridicule. Like, you are impersonating a lawyer. Old people suck. Middle-aged people suck too. On the pages of FloridaGolfNews.com, Vomit went so far as to dub the magistrate judge Judge Bozo, quipping that this litigation should be known as the Battle of Bozo. The epithet, while irrelevant, was grounded in Volp's reporting that Judge Bolitho had publicly displayed frustration with endless procedural disputes. And I'm sorry, like, this is the one where I'm going to stick up for the judge, because usually I don't. But, like, publicly displayed frustration with the endless procedural disputes in the Hale's multiple cases. Well, duh. Wouldn't you? Like, but what that tells me, so literally, they told on themselves again. They told on themselves again. They told on themselves again. Because when you say endless procedural disputes, who is filing the vast majority of the paperwork? Not Randy. Not Randy. We did the math in the other case. I think we should do the math in this case too. And yes, I know that there are more defendants than, but we can compare each person individually, not group them together, because we all know fucking 6, 7, whatever, how many of our defendants in this case is always going to have more than one plaintiff. Totally get that. However, we'll go independently and see who's filing more motions, because this shit, and I don't blame the judge for being frustrated. We're all frustrated. The only people who aren't frustrated are the people who are actually doing it. That right there tells you something, doesn't it? If you're mad at the judge for while your side is filing so many documents, that sounds like a you problem. Oh, as frustrating as for us, just think of Jeremy. I can't. Like, I choose not to, because I'm already frustrated just reading this. I can't imagine. Like, I can't. This is where I have to be sympathetic and not empathetic, because no. Shouting elderly abuse while they're sitting on streams with people convicted of it. Ooh. If I say that 3 times, will a flea appear? Just as long as she's in black and white stripes, I guess we're good. Oh my goodness. At one point telling the lawyers to bring your checkbooks. Yeah, because he's going to sanction your ass. And guess what? Randy brought his fucking checkbook. And Randy had the balls to show. Bye, Uncle Buck. Yeah, thanks for putting up with my attitude. Maybe a beer will help. I haven't had a beer in like a month. And I really shouldn't be having a beer right now, but I am. Oh, I got a competition in 2 weeks. The Bozos and Shotguns, Exhibit A. We're going to get into that. The tone of public commentary is intensified. Defendants' associates and other journalists have argued that Bolitho has enabled Hale's vexatious litigation strategy. I'm not saying that fucking word. Polyflop. In Volp's words, the case has become a clown show, and Judge Bozo in the center of the ring. That characterization, echoed by other commentators, frames the magistrate judge as a passive participant in the very abuse he is charged with controlling. I believe he is a little passive, but I believe he's trying not to be okay. I don't, like, 8 o'clock is like family and bedtime. So like I barely have enough, and when I do have free time, I'm working on my own stuff, trying to get a second channel up and running. This was from a 6-pack that my dad brought me the last time he was down here. He hasn't been down here in like 2 months. So I have 3 left in 6 months. So I've had a bottle of wine and 3 beers in 6 months, if that tells you how much I drink. Well, sorry. It's me bitching today. Yeah, and sorry, chat. I have to ignore you. Because we're literally talking about the same shit that we already talked about like a half an hour ago. Objective standard for recusal. Judge the appearance of bias and the integrity of judicial proceedings. Like fucking freaking Luthmann wouldn't know like judicial proceedings and bias and integrity if it smacked him in the face. Even if Bolitho subjectively believes himself as capable of impartiality, the public perception of fairness has been compromised. No, actually, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Well, maybe with the Hales people, because even when certain creators were covering other things, every time that they would cover other things, some people would be like, well, what about Jeremy's case? So, you reset the bankruptcy update? Yeah, that's what I read like a half hour ago. Well, 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it will rule on the papers, but it doesn't say when. But my point was, and I'm not going to get back into it because I'm going to get frustrated as fuck again. But I know they said they would rule on the papers, but one, they didn't say when, and two, everything in the bankruptcy court, according to the bankruptcy court's own administrative order, has basically been shut down until Halloween because of the Congress not being able to fix their shit. So, and Green Veggie Beast, thanks for the $5. Sorry, I fell asleep to your dual shit tones and you bitching. Well, you know. Yes, sanctions. Right now we're waiting. Hey, Buck Naked. We're wait till your father gets home kind of phase. Give your link to one of the either to me or one of the mods, and we'll drop it in the chat every time that you're in here, because I don't gatekeep YouTube. I don't tell people who to watch, who not to watch. Like, friends of the channel get their links dropped because I don't gatekeep fucking YouTube. I don't tell people who not to subscribe to or who not to watch or whatever, because I ain't that bitch. I am a bitch. I'm just not that bitch. So, it's not open and it's not closed. That's there. Thank you, Turtle Turtles. That's what I was literally like. We're in a holding pattern. That's what I was trying to say earlier. So it's we're just in a holding pattern, and the part about a holding pattern is it's frustrating because nothing is getting done on either side. All right. Yeah, I have that. I have the docket right here. So I have the that's the there's the and it's freaking sorry, StreamYard is so damn frustrating. That's one of the things I loved about Streamlabs when I was using it, was Streamlabs had where I could put a whole bunch of windows and documents on the side and just click between them. This I have to stop sharing and reshare, and it's annoying. So I would watch your videos twice so I can catch whenever I miss, and you can use a beer whenever needed. It's just sometimes, you just need that, like, a water with lime just ain't cutting it. I hope we don't crash the plane from running out of fuel. There's just some things in this that is like, this sustain the Rule 72 objections, restore the stricken filings, documents 116 and 117 to the docket, deny plaintiff's motion to validate service and enter default, order recusal or reassignment of magistrate judge, direct magistrate to address the elder abuse and fraud on the court allegations on the merits. There are no merits. Admonish against content-based striking of filings without constitutional analysis, such other relief as the court deemed just and equitable. And we shall look. Okay, doesn't that look like you signed it with your opposite hand? And guess what? He doesn't sign it senior. He doesn't sign it senior. So neither one of them sign it fucking senior or junior. So why are we not here? Too bad. Like, nope. Liz, apple cider vinegar and a little bit of lemon. Just a little bit of apple cider vinegar, though, because, like, too much and you're, like, freaking out. But here's what I wanted to get to, is this Florida Gulf News stuff. Like, I'm sorry, like, what and why? But what and why? What and why? Like, doesn't he look like the Penguin from freaking Batman? Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Green Veggie Beast, thanks for the $5. Okay, who did I want names? Who ran over me? And where'd you park the tank? Because compare signature from the last doc filed, I can do that. So we're going to, I got to make sure I got nothing up here. Because then I'm going to just bring it up. Let's see, open up the last document. Was it 116? 116. Let me make sure that I redacted the address because, you know, I'm a bitch, but I'm not that bitch. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop sharing this. We're just going to share the entire screen so we can see everything. Welcome to my computer. So here's the document that we just looked at, which literally looks like somebody signed it with their opposite hand. Because I'm not a handwriting analyst, but when you sign it, when you have edges like that, there's something in the brain that, like, when you write like that. You mean Danny DeVito? No, this is like Penguin from Batman. But look at these two signatures. Like, here's one. This was document 116. And here's document. Did he have he either is lying or had a stroke. Because here it's signed senior. Here it's not. And I'm sorry, when you sign your name, especially when you sign your name for Angel. What happened, Angel? You say hi to Grandpa? Grandpa's in the chat. Hi. Did you say hi to Grandpa? Here. Angel bug. And we only got about 5 minutes left, so we're going to. You can't have my laptop, boo. You got to be good. You bang on the keyboard. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Baby squid. Thank you. There you go. Do you want the... No, you're not playing AC/DC Hell's Bells. Sorry. I love you, but no. There you go. You gotta go sit down right there. Thank you. Oh, Danny was the Penguin in Batman? Oh, sorry, Dad. Oh, my goodness. I would love the judge to force Senior to attend and testify that he did not fill this out or risk getting a contempt charge so that he has to turn. This is just not, this is just not the same person. Like, you don't have to be a handwriting expert to, I'm sorry, you don't have to be a handwriting expert. And look at, if these were filed by the same person, look at the difference in like, not grammar, but formatting. Like, the text isn't the same. The size isn't the same. Like, the signature is not the same. It's just, there's some weird shit going on. Yeah, but if we want to really compare, let's compare. Welcome to my computer. Let's compare the 115-6. The control. Because he signed that too, because he can't before I do this, I have to redact this address. So, and the phone number. So give me 1 second. Here is the control document that he filed in the Middle District of Florida in the Dinesh case. None of the signatures look like the same person at all. Not even this one. Even though this looks like it was signed in pen. The A is different. So I don't believe that Junior signed this, because look at the A's. At least the A's on these two are written the same way. They're just not the same person. So it's just a weird, it's just bizarre. Like shit's not adding up. It's another one of those things that makes you go, huh? Because it's just like you look at it and it's like the R don't look the same. Like it just doesn't look like the same signature, but then this doesn't look like the same signature as either one of those two. So it's like, where's the what some shit is happening here, and the fact that I don't know what it is makes me very curious but very angry at the same time, because I'm like, I don't, but there's the control doc, the one from Junior. That was the multiple personalities is making more sense. Yeah, there's no consistency at all. They can't use the electronic signature because they don't have electronic filing privileges because they're pro se, and he can't file electronically because he's disbarred. So he doesn't have access to the electronic filing system. So they can't. Yeah. They say Richard A. Luthmann Sr. Like, and none of them make sense. None of it adds up. 116 is closely similar to Junior's control if you notice the squishing of the letters. Yeah, but the A is different. Like the way he wrote the A is he writes an A. This is like cursive A, and that is like print A. So it's still. I don't know. So yeah, that just none of it adds up. And comparing the signatures on all three documents does not make any sense. So, and also they had to sign theirs because they mailed their documents in. So, yeah, literally the difference between these two honestly looks like when I write my name with my left hand, looks more like this with curves. And then when I write my name with my my right hand, it looks like this with like my first name all jagged and lots of straight lines and edges instead of a nice smooth line. Like if I had a different camera set up and a different angle, I could kind of show you what I mean with the handwriting. And I've never been the hi. Can I help you with something? No. Okay. What would you like? You want the monitor? Okay, come here. Okay. Girl, you need a bath.
Mommy.
Angel. Bye. All right. Getting back to this crazy ass document. You want FaceTime Grandpa?
Yeah.
She's not gonna FaceTime you. She's gonna run away and hide. She's already doing it, just aiming the camera at her. But thanks anyway, Dad. Appreciate the offer.
Mommy.
Angel.
Oh no.
Hold on. You want to? Hold on. Woman, girl, you can't have it all way. Here. Hold on. Let me turn the volume down. There you go. Oh, she's calling you back. All right. Angel, can I have your phone real quick?
Yeah.
I gotta turn down the volume so that the chat can't hear. Say hi to Papa Squid. Okay. All right. Best don't even get PMS. Tell him Squid. It's against rocks and shows. Oh my goodness. Yep. Curse of the Southpaw. Oh, doesn't that explain so much? All right. So they go in. This is the first thing, and everybody's seen this. I hadn't seen some of this because this is part of the shit that I don't pay attention to unless it's in legal filings. I hear about shit, but I don't. But I don't pay much attention. So, this is all, and he goes into the Gambino family, and we're not getting into this because I'm not getting on the bad side of any families because I have to say what I know, and I don't want to say what I know. So, hi. But Randy, shock it, bozo. And this is me not calling them bozo. This is just me reading. So this is other people's words that I am just repeating. So this is where it gets a little, and I'm sorry, that's fucking hilarious. Jeremy Hale's portrayal of Jewish lawyer, and I'm sorry, for a journalist, your grammar sucks because Hale's should be HALES apostrophe no extra S. Did we skip 5th grade English class? Just saying. The computer locked and she's mad. She likes to type when I'm streaming. Here you go, Angel. Go back to my grandpa. Please don't break my laptop. I appreciate that. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to claim that you are a journalist, because I do not claim to be a journalist. If you are going to claim to be a journalist and the fact that you are not a lawyer, but you have a law degree means you went to college and got an advanced degree and you don't know 5th grade English. 5th grade English. 5th grade English. Welcome to my nightmare that is my computer. And if if you want to be technical, isn't Randy Jewish? So you can't claim that he's anti-Semitic and then when he has a Jewish lawyer and Larry Foreman is Jewish too, if I'm remembering correctly. Larry, I apologize that I don't know. I probably should. However, sorry. It's one of those situations where it's so stupid. And then everybody's seen that Megan Fox's cabal, whatever. These people glorify mafia violence and they're dumb enough to think real mobsters and the feds won't care. Why would the feds care about this picture? Honestly, why would the feds care about a meme? We're not England. Last time I checked. But last time I checked, we're not England. Ugh. And I'm sorry, but whoever did the pictures for this is just hilarious. It's just hilarious. A former ally of Volps. I don't know if. And then, really, Rosalind Duke piss off. And then that picture. Like that picture. It's like Miami versus Ohio State. I'm gonna beat down that dumbass Buckeye in the swamp. That's so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Bozos and shotguns, a warning to good people. The Unknown Podcast. It's funny that they call it the Unknown Podcast because it's literally unknown. No one's ever fucking heard of it before. Like, this isn't a conspiracy, it's a clown show, and Bozo's already in the center ring. It's so, like, this is ridiculous. And then this is when, you know, and I'm not going to show the rest of this because I did, this was on FloridaGolfNews.com, an article titled Bozos and Shotguns. But this is the rest of his motion for reconsideration. He added all this, like this would be a good thing. I'm sorry. Excuse my language and my complete attitude in this stream. However, why would you ever think that it would be a good idea to post this shit in a motion? Especially a motion for reconsideration when you've already been denied. No journalistic integrity. Not like some journalists have that much integrity anyway. See, you know, news channels on TV. However, I'm still not understanding and they even add not only the doxing of him, and we've all kind of seen that, so I'm not showing it. Even though I redacted it, I'm just not going to show it. They talk about his personal information with his social security number, all but the last 4. I really hope Jeremy's got some good, like, identity theft protection and stuff like that, because they literally give the first 5 numbers and the last 4 are basically what's on, like, documents where your social security number is generally redacted, except for the last 4. They did that intentionally. They completely did that intentionally. Yeah. They doxed him and made fun of Meghan and Roslyn and the judge and all that. But they now have added it into a public legal document. So it's not only in that, and they linked it. So it's like when you think that people can't be any bigger of assholes than they are, they become bigger assholes. It leaves you speechless. That, like, I don't think even on my worst day of being mean to someone or rude to someone that I could ever act like this. Like, yeah, it kind of proves the entire case. And that's what I don't understand. By you trying to get a 1-up on Jeremy, you basically proved Jeremy's point. And that's the thing I've noticed about haters and trolls and things like that, is the more you let them talk, the more they prove your point. So you just stay quiet and you just let them do their thing, and the truth will eventually come out because they can't help but keep talking. There's a certain subset of people in the world that just love to hear themselves talk. Some of them become YouTubers. But in the sense that they hate on people, but they can't keep their mouth shut enough to actually look like the good guy in the situation. I mean, here's the thing. He's viciously attacking Jeremy, and Jeremy has done nothing to this guy to warrant that kind of attack. And that's where I don't understand people, and I will never understand people, is, like, people don't care about other people. Not that they hate them. They're indifferent. There's too many other things to worry about that other people are indifferent. And I think some people see indifference as hate. Like, because I don't care, like, I use the cashier at the grocery store as an example all the time. Like, she's a very nice person. She's good at her job. I like her. Are we friends? No. Do I have any hate for her? No. I'm just indifferent. If she's got something going on, yeah, I would feel sympathy for her. However, most of the time, her daily activities and what goes on in her daily life don't affect me. So I'm indifferent to what goes on in other people's lives. Just like I'm indifferent to what happens on other channels. I don't like, it's not that I like it or I hate it or anything. I don't have time for it. So it's one of those situations where people in this world seem to think that people being indifferent to them means they hate them. And all of a sudden they meet that indifference with hatred. And I don't understand. I will never understand how someone has so much hate in their heart, or how someone just wakes up hating someone so much. There are people in this world who get pissed that I smile on a daily basis. Me smiling and laughing makes people's heads explode. Oh, speaking of heads explode, oh, come on. Sorry about my big old butt. You have to see it for a second. Oh, darn, I lost them. I had paint swatches. Since I'm redecorating my apartments and people's heads, I wanted to, let me see if I have them on the shelf. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Since I'm redecorating my apartments and certain people's heads after yesterday's streams, these are my colors. Cloudberry purple, kaleidoscope blue, and graceful blue, if you care. So since we're redecorating, because I reinvigorated some people's hates for me yesterday, with yesterday's stream, I don't know why. I didn't do anything. Except for laugh and have a good time. And apparently that pissed people off. So, those are my colors, guys. Glidden paint, Walmart. It's cheap. But blues and purples. Those are my colors. I picked up some paint swatches for y'all. Oh my god. Wait, that is purple. This one is. Cloudberry is. I know it's hard to see. Hold on. Let's change my. There we go. Now you can kind of see it. Sorry about my awful, god-awful nails. But I just thought I'd have. See, I have fun with haters and trolls and stuff like that, because it's like, y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Oh, sorry guys. You just have to laugh, right? When people see, and that's the thing. Like, I'm just indifferent to people, whereas like people see indifference as hate, and I don't understand that concept, and I will never understand why people see like people's indifference is they hate them. Like, I don't hate anybody except for like 2 people. One, because she owes me like 10 grand, but that's beside the point, and yeah, we're not friends anymore. So, but like, I don't hate anybody because that takes too much effort. I'm indifferent to people. And apparently indifference is the bad part. Like, and people meet that with, you're indifferent, so you must hate me. So it's just a situation where you look at stuff and you're like, that takes too much mental energy. And y'all know I don't got much mental energy to give. I barely have enough mental energy to run my day. So now you're good. Chats are giving you color preferences. I was thinking about something the other day, and I was talking to someone about redecorating something, and I picked out paint swatches, and then I was talking to somebody else about joking about living rent-free in people's heads, because there's a girl back at the hospital I used to work at. I haven't worked there in 5 years, by the way. And when I went to go visit last time, I went to go visit, and a friend of mine was like, you might not want to come on this day because she's working. And I was like, okay, so what? She's like, well, with all the problems you have, I haven't worked there in 5 years. Apparently, I still live rent-free in this chick's head. I couldn't even remember what this chick's name was. Like, that's how that's how much it didn't matter to me. Did we have a couple of rough patches? Yeah. Did we have good times? Yeah. I didn't think anything of it. Life goes on. But apparently, I live rent-free in this bitch's head, who I live 1,000 miles away from. Didn't end the stream, just hit a button and kicked myself out of studio. So, seems like that's the day you need to visit. I know, right? I didn't visit because, one, I was too busy with other things, and two, I didn't know if they still had some COVID restrictions and stuff like that. So it's we're good. I didn't end stream. I didn't do that. However, I did just, Heather, I booted myself out of the studio because with this nice fancy mouse. Yeah, clicking buttons, expert level. At least I haven't been doing this as long as he has, and I can still figure out how to start my stream. Yeet. I know, right? Well, with this fancy mouse, I have this, and apparently these buttons down here, one is the back button. And if you back button yourself when you are in studio, it will kick you out of the studio. So it's an interesting. Yeah, if only rent-free in heads was actually worth something. Stats, entertainment value. A whole shit ton of entertainment value. Whole shit ton. All right, on that note, the last thing we do have to cover is, I'm just going to bring this over here. Judge Bolitho did file an order to show cause for Jeremy in the whole super stupid Dave stuff. Whatever you want to call him. We're going to have to limit you to one wire and one button at a time. Got it. Yes. AT1. You know me too well. And hey, Bad Duck. Sorry I didn't say hi to you. I saw you pop in. But then I yeeted myself shortly after. All right. This is, in that same case, order to show cause. Initial complaint was filed February 23rd. Yes, it really has been that long. Initial complaint names David Michael Teschendorf as a defendant. On July 17th, court granted plaintiffs 45-day extension to serve Teschendorf. Deadline passed several weeks ago, and no proof of service has been filed. Nor has defendant Teschendorf entered an appearance or otherwise responded. Because more than 90 days have passed since the initial complaint was filed, and because plaintiff's extended service deadline has passed without service being perfected, plaintiffs must show cause to whether claims against defendant Teschendorf should not be dismissed under FRCP Rule 4M for failure to timely serve. And I believe Randy will have a good reason. I mean, we all know the reason for this. We all know it. However, there is something in here where I definitely agree with the judge, where I still don't understand Randy's mindset. And I just, under Rule 4M, the defendant is not served within 90 days after the complaint is filed. The court, on motion or its own after notice to the plaintiff, must dismiss the action without prejudice against that defendant or order the service be made within a specified time. As previously mentioned, plaintiff's initial complaint was filed February 23rd. After the initial 90-day deadline for service passed, on the court July 17th ordered that service be made within a specified time by granting plaintiffs a 45-day extension. On September 25th, it's a good day, by the way. This is an order from the judge. After the 45-day extended deadline had already expired, plaintiffs moved to serve defendant Teschendorf by email. But that motion was denied. Yes, because service by email to a individual is illegal in both Florida and Wisconsin. That is what I don't understand. The move Randy made, that he's usually like a step or 2 steps or 3 steps ahead. I don't quite understand, one, why you would request service that you know is illegal in the 2 states you're asking it for. And secondly, here's the other part where the judge says something where I'm like, that makes sense. And plaintiffs have not requested another extension to serve defendant Teschendorf. Thus, service deadlines have come and gone without plaintiffs either properly serving defendant Teschendorf or seeking additional extension of defendant Teschendorf's service deadline. I don't. Florida, it is legal to an LLC. It is legal to businesses in certain cases. Teschendorf is not an LLC. Or if he does have an LLC, they did not sue his LLC. They sued him as an individual. Service as an individual is illegal in Florida, as far as the judge stating. So it has been done. It has been done, but it's been done to businesses. Now, if they would have sued Teschendorf LLC or Milltown's Best LLC, or if he has an LLC, whatever his LLC is, that would have been different. Yeah, the email threw me off as well. Email service has only been granted one time with the permission of the court to corporate entity legal. I believe that Megan's examples were for individuals given certain circumstances. Well, whatever they were, they did not meet Judge Bolitho's case law. So, yeah. That was me when I was a kid. Somewhere along the lines, I switched from being very book smart and having absolutely no common sense when I was a teenager to having way too much common sense and not enough book smarts. So, accordingly, it is ordered that within 14 days of this order, plaintiff must show cause as to why their claims against Teschendorf should not be dismissed for failure to timely serve. So this is the second time plaintiff has failed to provide proof of service or move for an extension of defendant Teschendorf service prior to the respective deadline expiring. And this is another example of where I feel the judge is just he wants everybody to do the right thing and be better. And sometimes people just aren't, whether it was intentional or accidental, because, I'm sure this isn't Randy's only case. Probably his most time-intensive case, but it's probably not his only case. Plaintiffs only requested an extension previously after the court ordered them to show cause for their failure to serve. Responding to the court's show cause order and requesting a 45-day extension to serve defendant Teschendorf. And then the second, plaintiff's amended pleadings do not restart the 90-day service deadline for defendants who were named in the initial complaint. Thus, when an amended complaint names a new defendant, a plaintiff has 90 days from the date on which the amended complaint is filed to serve that defendant. See also Depp v. Vetter, Middle District of Florida. While plaintiff has since filed an amended complaint, all of the defendants who plaintiff seeks more time to serve were named in the original complaint. And thus, filing the amended complaint does not restart the time to serve them. So, and then just says another one. The filing of an amended complaint does not toll the Rule 4M service period and thereby provide an additional 90 days for service on defendants named in the original complaint. So, I just came from the post office. I have paperwork on Dave from the judge asking us if he wants us to release Dave from the case. Yep. I think this is it this? Or is it this order to show, is it this order that the judge gave you a copy of? Or is it something different? Because y'all could possibly have shit that I don't have access to, So, but this is the show cause order. There's a couple things, and like I said, nobody's perfect, and I don't when I judge people, I question why. I don't say they fucked up or anything like that. I just question why. So in Randy's case, it's just what were you using that made you think that was a good idea? Because service by email has never been legal in Wisconsin. I started looking it up after because I didn't realize it, but service by email has never. Do I think that it needs to be? Yes. Do I think that is where the law and the technology that we live by now don't match up? Yes. However, you can't really does anyone have a screenshot of the LinkedIn page? I have a screenshot of the search for the LinkedIn page. So I will show the screenshot of the LinkedIn page. The search where it shows that Luthmann and Luthmann senior uses senior. Luthmann does not, or junior does not. This is where there we go. So you can see I just searched Richard Luthmann. I didn't log in because I didn't want to dox myself in my LinkedIn page because Lord knows. But you can see Richard Luthmann does not use junior. Does not. Senior does. Interesting. So, and it wouldn't let me click on his stuff without joining or logging in, and I didn't want to log in. So, but there's my screenshot. So, yep, there's the screenshot. Yay. So, I can get a screenshot of the actual LinkedIn, and I probably will later tonight. I just don't right now. All right, but on that note, guys, I gotta go. I am going to see if there is anybody that we can redirect to. Would help if I hit the customization, right? There we go. Redirect. Who is live right now? Andrea Burkhart. Andrea. Or when is October 20? Oh, that's not for another 10 days. Sorry, Rosalind, I can't redirect to you. You don't have that stream set up. Rosalind is going live in 10 days to do a merch design stream with someone. But Andrea Burkhart is live. So we're going to go over there. Charlie Kirk murder charges and probable cause state v. Tyler Robinson. All right. Y'all have a great day and tell Andrea Burkhart that I said hi. Bye, guys.